So a hot topic today, we're looking at the release, and in particular looking at this kind of recocking action post-impact. So really how the wrist should work, after we get to that lovely impact zone. And we often talk about shaft lean, and I talk about shaft lean a lot on my channel, but really it's about how we get shaft lean and let the wrist go into extension after, and what kind of things happen. To help show you this and demonstrate this, I'm going to use Hack Motion here as a wrist sensor. So I'm going to look at my data, my wrist, and how that extension rate changes post-impact, really to show you what goes on. So there are definitely more than one way, but let's have a look at my data and let's have a chat about it, and let's talk about the theory of kind of the frisbee throw kind of concept. Let's get stuck in. What we're talking about today really is when we come through the golf ball, we ideally want shaft lean. We know the best players in the world get shaft lean, but the wrists are going to recock here. So we're looking at when the wrist goes from what we call into a flex state into an extension state. So I'm going to hit one. So look at my data and let's see what we got. Okay. So my data, not the best shot in the world. It's only the third shot today. But basically, if we look at my data there, particularly, on the downswing, my wrist goes into flexion quite sharp. And then just basically straight after impact almost, it goes back into extension. So you'll see the graph is like a V. So if you imagine if my wrist stayed in flexion longer, it'd be a flatter line there. So you'll see there, my wrist goes from there, up in extension. And again, I know I'm not a tour player, so my wrist action won't be as good as the best players in the world, and different players will have different wrist signatures. The big point about this video is really, when we talk about shaft lean, understand that it switches off. So let me try another one. So what we're looking at really is the shaft lean would happen here, then the extension. So again, imagine if you threw a frisbee, you get this kind of look and you get the release. And that's what we're talking about here, the release. So people who watch my channel will know I like a good body action. So the body action helps give you shaft lean, then the release would happen upwards, really, with the wrist cock, the resetting, the reloading of the shaft, if you like. Now, bear in mind, please, that most golfers don't achieve enough shaft lean. So thinking you're getting too much shaft lean is often a good thing for most people, rather than thinking about the extension, right? But it does happen. So I'm trying to be factually correct without sort of saying to you, for you, you might not need to think about extending. Let's try another ball, see if we can get a better shot. Certainly a better strike. That one there, the graph is a little bit flatter, so it's less V shape, a bit more U shape. So what you'll see from both of these kind of graphs is that there's a difference in my action, shot to shot. As I said, I haven't hit a lot of golf balls. The actual data at impact is very similar, and the data at the top of the swing is very similar. But in terms of the graph line, the flatter line, the less of a V, certainly gave me a little bit of a better shot for me. So again, what we're talking about, the frisbee throw, allow the wrist to recock. So when we're talking about your golf swing, shaft lean, extension. You'll see how the wrist has gone into extension. That is what I want to see you do in your golf swing. I don't want you to feel shaft lean hanging on for too long. If you are a scooper, you are a flipper, then certainly as a drill, keeping the shaft lean and getting the body turning is certainly a great way to practice and a great way to develop your golf technique. But remember, the accurate information is the wrist cock, wrist extension as we go through the golf ball. Hope you've enjoyed that take on the kind of wrist extension and how the wrists work. They go into this flexion state on the downswing, stay flexed through impact, and then they go into an extension state just after impact. If you have enjoyed that information, please click like and share the video. Really appreciate if you can do that for me. Also, please post comments, questions, requests down below. Tell me a little bit about your golf, what you're up to at the moment. You know, I want to make this a bit more of a community, get people chatting. And also, if you haven't already followed or subscribed me, please hit my logo down this bottom corner. I'd love to have you on board with my channel so I can help you with your golf. Thanks for tuning in today. Hope you're staying safe, and I hope to see you again here very soon.